Each year, millions of people fall victim to scammers. It's estimated that the cost to consumers of mass-marketed scams could be as much as £5 billion. However, only 5% of people report scams, and we don't actually know how much the real cost is. Cheshire West Citizens Advice have produced videos focusing on scams. Each video aims to give examples of some of the current scams and how they might be targeted towards consumers.
According to Action Fraud, around about £1.2 billion a year is targeted in terms of investment fraud. But the true picture could be an awful lot worse. There are lots of scams out there of various different types, but the two most common are share sales, also known as boiler room scams, where someone will generally cold call you or contact you via post or email to offer you an investment opportunity in penny shares, usually. These will be companies you've probably never heard of, and then a story is spun explaining quite how wonderful this investment could be in the future. The other type of scam is investment opportunity scams. They're generally offering things, anything from gemstones, fine wines, all the way through to things like land banking, which is where you would buy a plot of land to invest and hope that the value of that land is going to improve because planning permission is about to be granted, for example. I've even seen graphene being advertised. Now, graphene, rather than being this wonder material, which science is still uncovering new applications for, it's very exciting, but rather than the investor buying graphene, what they actually bought was graphite. It was pencil shavings, utterly worthless. So one of the easiest ways is to check for any contact that comes out of the blue. Genuine investment companies won't usually cold call, email, or send you a letter unless you've already been in touch with them in some way. You should also think about the returns that are being offered. If the returns sound too good to be true, they probably are too good to be true. And also time pressure. So any investment which is offered to you with a very short period of opportunity, genuine investments will tend to be open-ended and probably won't have a deadline. So if a deadline is being forced on you, that's an indication that it could be a scam. And finally, any indication not to talk about an investment with friends or family because the returns will be reduced, that could be a big red flag as well. The main concern over this is actually you could lose them. You could lose everything. You could be stuck with worthless shares. You could be stuck with worthless wine, which was meant to be a great vintage, but turns out to be a cheap bottle of supermarket plonk. Or you could end up with graphene, which is just pencil shavings. Companies can also disappear without trace, so trying to regain your money from them is next to impossible. It's a very big concern. If a company contacts you and you've not been in touch with them in the past, that should be a big red flag to you that they're trying to offer you something which is of more benefit to them than it is to you. You should also avoid anything which has a time-sensitive element. Most genuine investments won't have such a strict deadline. If something sounds good and you're interested in it, do your research before committing to anything. You should also avoid any company which isn't regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. You can check whether a company is regulated by looking on the FCA's website, which is fca.org.uk. And also anything which sounds too good to be true, because the chances are it probably is.
If you want to find out how to spot a scam, what to do if you've been the victim of a scam, or find out other useful information, click on the links at the end of this video to our other YouTube videos. These are just a few examples of the hundreds of scams out there, from property rentals, car matching scams, pyramid selling, energy scams, holiday club and timeshare scams, to name but a few. For more information on scams, visit the Citizens Advice website, www.citizensadvice.org.uk.